tell you what. Let's just do this way because what you make a good point that, but I see your character as being somebody that would be prepared for wilderness travel and survival.
Mm-hmm.
So a hatchet would not be,
Right.
but since it has not been mentioned, let's see. Just give me a d20 roll. Let's see what the result is.
It's terrible. It's a 4.
Uh, oh man,
All right. All right.
just
So, huh.
got
All
it.
right. So that's fine. All right, I'm just kind of looking at the door and going, I should have brought a hatchet. Okay. So, or, one solid axe, wood, utility axe. All right. Let's go ahead and hike down. We have 2 unexplored hallways. We're going to hike down one of them. 50-50 choice.
Okay, the first one you come to is uh, the hallway has just one opening, and that leads into an empty room. As far as like people and refuse goes, it's pretty sterile compared to the rest of the rooms.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Looks like it was used for an armory because there are tons of like old weapons, brittle, falling
Right.
apart
Crap. I'm
stuff.
sure. Yeah. All right. But it's interesting because they're like historical 7 cities, equipment and stuff like that. I'm
Oh yeah,
going to.
helmets.
I'm kind of interested. So a couple of things come to mind. I mean, that means that, these people were obviously taken entirely by surprise. I mean, the bodies have accumulated at the bottom of the stairwell. Perhaps they were trying to get out, or perhaps they were just washed there. Um, and then the prisoners in the cells were just wiped out with everybody else. The armor, the money's just sitting there. The armory's just sitting there. I mean, this was a hammer blow of a disaster. That's definitely clear. Um, all right. Well, I'm not here to just like loot old weapons and stuff like that. So all right. So this was the armory. Um,
I would say take a helmet. I mean, that just as a identifying thing that would be nice to have.
yeah.
Bring back a helmet to see if somebody knows who these people were.
Right. Well, we do need to sort of document the fact that we were here, and we did have these ancient indicators of, the old city. Nobody can say we weren't there if we come back with stuff like this. Um, it'd be nice to bring back like an amazing artifact that elevates you to the ranks of the highest living gods and all the rest of it. That'd be great. But for now, an old batter helmet, got to start somewhere. So cool. So that
Throxon
leaves us.
said volunteers. Throxon volunteers to be the one to kind of record and what we're finding and keep some of the equipment and things if you want him to carry them.
Sure, but
So that give you more to carry.
Throxon, are you schooled? Not Throxon. Yeah, Throxon, are you schooled in letters and record keeping and stuff like that? Something you know about?
Yeah, that's not a problem for me, sir. I'm definitely capable of reading and writing.
I'm just going to kind of lean my head back and give a look over at Pixie. It's like, keep an eye on Mr. Deep Waters over here. Right. All right. I'm with Hade, right? Hade makes sense, right? Don't leave your wallet lying around. Put him in danger, and he'll step up. Easy, right? Mr. Hidden Skills, that bugs me. All right. So so let's see here. Same thing. Final hallway. Hay, Hade and me taking point. And Throxon and Palamuse are taking the back. with Rella as sort of personal sword guard to Pixie. That's the way I'm seeing our basic hiking and looking kind of approach to things. And yeah, one thing I will point out, if we run into something dreadful down one of these hallways, whatever happens, one of those spearmen in the back has got to keep a sharp eye out in the other direction. Right, just before we get overtaken.
Before you get flanked.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Hayden and I are down there. The lantern, of course, is bright and able to, probably advertising our presence, but whatever. It's how it is. And so we're going to head down that final hallway. And my brain is kind of ticking away. I'm talking to Hayden saying, since that main door is blocked, I'm suspecting that maybe another way is if we go up a level and then start kind of poking, looking for maybe like what were windows and stuff like that. Maybe there's a better way out that way. Because this is a structure. Yeah, it's buried, right? I mean, this structure is buried, essentially, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm still kind of having my head, based on the way it looked when we fell down, that there is open space down here, right? But maybe I'm just misremembering or misunderstanding. All right, so anyway, I'm going to be interested in this final hallway.
Okay, going down the hallway, this has a single doorway on one side, which leads into a another large room. This room is just full of just rotten goods. This was storage.
Yeah, food storage of goods and food. Yeah, I'm starting to get the idea that maybe we're better off with non-perishables as as what we're going to bring. And while there may be valuable stuff in here, like maybe even old documents or something, I'm not really in the position to collect and evaluate that stuff right now. What interests me is that while we've been creeping up and down these hallways, nothing has come out to bother us.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, that was why I was especially careful about this last one, because I figured, that would be the time, let us creep and crawl around and get confident and then bunch ourselves up in a hallway, and now it's time to come get us. But nothing of the sort, apparently. At least I hope not. And the hallway that you mentioned, it stops, correct? I mean, there's a door on the side, but then the hallway itself stops. Okay. So we've got this structure that's got these 4 hallways that all stop, except for the one, which is a door. Right. Okay. And then after that, the stairs just go up. All right, then. So at this point, I want to go one level up. And wait, and start go back up the stairs one level up and start looking around on that level. I'm real interested in whether there are any openings going outward from anywhere that we go.
Okay, yeah, okay, understandable. Well, I tell you what. Okay, so you go up. Now you get the impression that coming from this floor, the bottom floor that you were at, that this was like perhaps, yeah, this was not a main floor. That this was just kind of the basement sort of.
Right.
So the next floor is going to be the first actual floor of where there was use. You come to the top of the stairs. You come to this level.
Right.
We'll say this is level 2.
Right.
And there are 2. There's just one hallway in this situation. That just goes, both directions opposite each other. But let's see.
Hanu, you might want to do the tracking thing again, just to see if there's signs of travel Like on the bottom floor, there were, you had this no signs of any recent travel.
Possibly. I have another idea. While the team, checks out these two hallways, I'm going to do a little mapping. Because it's about time, right? It's about time that we're going to get confused and wait, didn't that one go this way and all that stuff, right? It's about exactly
Oh, yeah.
I can tell. So
It's gonna
that's
start
one thing.
on Scooby-Doo.
And then, but I also want to ask you, the two hallways on the level we're on right now, which two hallways do they parallel on the ones down below?
Ah, very good question. This parallels the hallway that had the treasury.
Right. Treasury and dungeon
North,
on one side, big door on the other side. Right?
Right, and also right.
Awesome. So that means we're going to be most interested in the hallway that parallels the one that went to the big door. Down below.
Right, that's the one that
I
we're.
figure that's out-ish of if either of them is. If I'm, at a guess. Now, meanwhile, now that I'm like standing here and pontificating about we're going this way because I bet that's where the door is, right down below. Maybe that's where the door is up here. Who knows?
Okay.
While I'm doing that, which might be wrong, I whip out. I realize how stupid I'm being, and I whip out my parchment and start scribbling on it. Right.
Well, no, there is a slit. There's a arrow slit. It's also overgrown though. That's the only thing that's at the end of this hall.
Oh wow. So that's the arrow slit that was overlooking the big door. Okay.
Yes.
That's kind of interesting. Still,
there are doors on either side of this hallway. There's 4 doors.
2 on each side, maybe.
Yes, and if you went to the arrow slit, would you want to go into the doors that are closest to you?
Yeah, or would you want to go to the doors that are furthest down the hallway, one side or the other?
Okay. Let's see here.
Should I make a mapping roll? I haven't made the roll.
Oh, the mapping. Go for it. Yes, sorry.
Oh, baby. There we go. I, first of all, now that I have a +1 on my mapping, that means that I have rolled a 21. Which
wow.
My target number is 13, and I have rolled a 21. Whatever that means. If anything, I'm not sure. But anyway, so I trust that I have made a pretty damn good map at this point, which is good. So let's hope that stays with us.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, I will say that you probably have that in your mind pretty well anyway, and you could redraw the map.
Okay.
With a roll like that, that's you got this pretty good.
Okay.
Okay. So now
we're looking in. Actually, depending on what we find, again, mutant children, we're going to open both those doors. Just to cut to the chase.
Okay. Yeah. The first door that you come to is the kitchen. As it turns out, it's like a huge kitchen, bakery and all that, all in one huge room, divided, where the hallway below went across the opposite, the there's a wall that goes across, and with an archway, sort of like a room divider, sort of in between the one half. But like I said, just a kitchen. Presumably the other side's going to be like a dining area. You get into the dining area, and it's a very large great hall area. Tables, you see the long big table with dead people sitting at the table.
Right, I was wondering when we were going to run into the people getting hammered. Interesting. So
these people were sitting at the table.
They were just like struck down as they were eating, right?
Possibly. It's kind of an odd sight. I mean,
No, it is. Because, if they were all running or screaming like the people piled at the bottom, right? You kind of get the idea that they were running down, and were in motion during the cataclysm, at least. But I mean, and even if there had been like the floodwaters coming in, then you would expect a lot more disarray than people sitting there, right?
And do any of the bones look broken or skulls crushed or anything like that, or do they look like, they're old, but do they look pretty intact? Bones?
As you approach the table, you can see that they look pretty much normal, like okay, like for ancient skeleton wise. I mean, it's not been hampered or not hampered.
The hand
It's
of the
not
gods
been,
came down hard on these people, right?
something
No
definitely.
intermediaries like the weather were involved in this one. Right? It's kind of like the gods rolled up their sleeves and said, "All right, wham, you're dead. We're sick of your shit." So
yeah, Rella kind of shivers a little bit and says, "This is the work of some magic." Okay, now you see the remains. Now, at this point, you start to feel a breeze. The room is full of like a green mist.
Uh-oh.
The mist is rushing with the wind now, and you see at the head of the table a large figure, just like a king with a crown, with the breastplate. For a man of his age, he looks pretty good, you'd think. The mist is just swirling through the air, and you see it start to rush into the eyes of this big figure, and his eyes are lighting up green. This happens pretty quickly. The eyes light up bright green, and he stands up, and he lets out a really loud, kind of deathly moan, cackling sound, and he is like, "You're a long way from home, Ilrathi pigs." And he stands up and is a huge skeletal figure, and okay, after countless eons here, now your passage has awakened me. Now I can finally bring forth eternal darkness. Now the other figures at the table start moving.